All right, we ready at the jail? We ready at the jail, y'all? You're on mute.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing? It's Deputy Tyson. I'm checking to see if you want your sign language to go first.
They were not available today. Miss Baskin sent an email saying that they were not able to be today, but they are going to be there and confirmed for tomorrow morning.
Okay, and what about the interpreter?
That I don't know. Miss Baskin, do you know if Ms. Bermudez or Miss Tolles was available?
And I have rest of the party ready to go.
Okay.
We also need a Spanish interpreter. I just saw the sign language interpreter.
Yeah, they emailed.
Okay, no problem. I'll went on. She'll probably join a little later, but I'll reach out to her now.
Okay, that's fine. That's on the male side. We've got some females and an extra addition on the female side, so it'll be a few moments, so she's got time. All right. Well, let's begin. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The time is 11:04. This is Clayton County Magistrate Court first appearance. I am Judge Daniel Nagel. Today's appearance is an informative hearing and not an evidentiary hearing. So what that means is this is not an opportunity for you to present evidence, talk to me about the facts of your case, why you feel like you should not have been charged, or what your defenses are. Please do not talk about what your defenses are or what your strategy moving forward is. This is being live streamed and it's being recorded. So anything that you say could potentially be used against you. Just answer the questions that are asked to you and we will get through everyone as quickly as possible. All right. Some of the information that I'm going to give you, I'm going to let you know the charges that are pending against you and whether they are a misdemeanor or a felony. I'm going to let you know if there is a bond amount set and what that bond is. I'm also going to let you know if there are any special conditions of your bond. The most common type of special conditions are a stay away provision from a person. If you're told to stay away from a certain person, that person does not exist in your world, or guess what? You end up back in jail and you face the possibility of more criminal charges against you. And guess what a judge is unlikely to do if you violate their order? Give you bond on new charges. So you run the risk of being arrested again and not being able to bond out. So if you're told to stay away from someone, that means not talking to them in person, on telephone, through the internet, Skype, Twitter, Kick, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever creative way that you think that you can communicate with this person, even using third party, like, hey, tell so-and-so I said X, Y, and Z. Don't do that because you run the risk of getting locked up and facing more charges, okay? Another type of special condition is they stay away from a certain location. Guess what? Same thing. You can go anywhere in the world except there. So if you are told to stay away from a certain location, do not go there. Now, sometimes you are told to stay away from a location that is a residence. It may be your residence. If you need to get your belongings from that location, then we can talk about how to do that legally. Okay, but it won't be, even if I say that you can go back and get your belongings, it won't be that you can just go there and get it. You will need to make contact with the Clayton County Sheriff's Department and have them go with you to get any belongings that you need to get from that residence. This is to make sure that nothing happens to you or anyone else at that residence or the community at large, because obviously something happened at that residence where it's not safe for people to go right now, okay? You can have somebody else go and get your belongings, that's fine, and probably the best way to handle it, but you can't go there unless you take the sheriff with you, okay? I'm also going to let you know your next court date. Please pay attention. If you are charged with misdemeanors, your next court date is going to be August the 22nd. If you are charged with either felonies or a mixture of felonies and misdemeanors, your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd. So all misdemeanors, the 22nd, either all felonies or a mixture of misdemeanors and felonies, August the 23rd. If you bond out before that court date, you do not have to appear for your first appearance, okay? That doesn't mean that you never have to report for court. It just means you don't appear for that particular court date, okay? If you bond out, your case will automatically be sent to the solicitor's office if it's misdemeanors, or if you have any felonies, it will go to the district attorney's office. Make sure that your contact information and your address is correct with the clerk's office, because they will send you notice of when you will need to appear, okay? But it will not be for a first appearance calendar, all right? Lastly, you should have had an opportunity to fill out an application for a court-appointed attorney. Your options for an attorney are either you can be considered for a court-appointed attorney, in which I'll review your application to see if you qualify. If you didn't fill it out, then I can only assume that you do not want a court-appointed attorney, and you either A, want to hire your own attorney, or B, you want to represent yourself. I do not recommend that you represent yourself, because you probably have not been to law school and studied the law and know the rules of evidence and criminal procedure and things of that nature. So your best options are to either A, see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, or B, have someone in mind that you would like to hire. If you're going to hire your own attorney, or someone's going to hire an attorney for you, that's fine. Just let me know if you do know who that is going to be, and make sure you let them know that they need to file the paperwork as quickly as possible. Once I go over all that information with you, you will have an opportunity to ask me any question that you like. Now, your question should be limited to the things that I go over with you. Don't ask me how much time you're looking at. Don't ask me, if the prosecutor is going to negotiate with you. Don't ask me anything about the facts and circumstances of your case. And again, don't talk to me about what your defenses are. Save that for your defense attorney. I repeat this a lot because invariably, every single time somebody gets up there and wants to talk to me about the facts of their case, don't be that person, because I'm going to cut you off and the deputies are not going to let you ask anything else, okay? So we have a zero tolerance policy for talking to me about the facts of your case. Just don't do it. It's the opposite of Nike, okay? You can ask me what your bond is, if you have any special conditions, what your charges are, and when your next court date is going to be. And you can ask me questions about whether you are approved for a court-appointed attorney. Now, I'm going to give you some information that people typically ask me, so I can go ahead and get it out of the way. I do not know the requirements of bonding companies and what they want from you or family members or friends as far as bonding you out, okay? I can tell you, as a lawyer practicing in this area for over 10 years, typically a bonding company is somewhere between 10 and 20% of your total bond. So if your total bond is $5,000, a bonding company is going to charge somewhere between 10 and 20% of $5,000. 10% is 500, 20% is 1,000. I made it easy because I'm an attorney and I don't do math. All right. But that is not a law, and that is not set in stone. Okay. I'm just giving you general idea of what you can expect. Okay. Also, keep in mind, we have about 30 something people here. So don't ask me if you're going to get released in 10 minutes or an hour or whatever. We'll get through everyone as quickly as possible. Trust me, we want everyone to be moved as efficiently and quickly as possible. So because there's a lot of other business that needs to be taken care of at the jail and through the courts. Okay. Also, please do not ask me about an OR bond or a recognizance bond or a signature bond, because most likely, if you know what that means, you probably wouldn't qualify. And if you don't know what that means, that's a good thing. But I've went through everyone's charges, everyone's criminal histories, all the facts and circumstances of their case. Okay. So if you don't have an OR or signature bond, please do not ask me for one. because you are just wasting your time and you're wasting everyone else's time. Okay. Again, you will have an opportunity to ask questions at the very end, but keep those questions limited to the information that we went over. Now, before we begin with the individuals, I need everyone to please raise their right hand. All right, and I just need you to swear or affirm that the statements that you make shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and you can say, I do. All right, we're going to start with the female side first, and then once we're done with that, we'll go to the person who needs a Spanish interpreter, because I see Miss Tolles here. All right. Miss Tolles, if you'll give us just a few minutes and let us work through the female side, we'll get to your person as quickly as possible.
Yes, sure. That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I forgot to mention, when you come up, just make sure that you speak loudly and clearly so that I can understand you. Some of you may have face coverings and there might be a little bit of a delay. So just wait for me to speak and finish, and then you can talk, okay? Ma'am, can I get your first and last name, please?
Deanna Burns.
All right, Miss Burns. You are charged with 1 count of battery. That is a misdemeanor. I am going to set a bond in your case, and the bond is going to be, let me see here. The bond is going to be $3,000. Okay. You do have special conditions of your bond to not have any contact with Takia Andrade McKinnon. So do not have any contact with that person. Also, do not go back to 10706 Buckingham Circle in Hampton. Now, that appears to be a residence. Do you need to get any belongings from that residence? Oh, it's on mute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. So remember what I just said. You can either A, have somebody get those belongings for you, or B, I'm putting in your bond conditions that you can make contact with the sheriff's office and they'll go with you to get your stuff from that residence until your either case is resolved, or through an attorney or through yourself, you can file a motion to go back into that residence. But until that's done, don't go back there by yourself and say that the judge said that you could, okay? Now, your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I get a court on.
Okay. Okay, I will grant that request for you. Do you have any questions about your case? No? Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Yes.
All right. Do we have Akani, aka NNI?
The fugitive, what do you have?
Up to the side. Up to the side.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Let me do the fugitive.
Yes, right.
Okay.
All right, ma'am. How do you what can you tell me your first and last name, please?
Say it loud.
Okay. I got you, Miss Akani. Thank you very much. All right, ma'am. Your procedure is a little bit different. I'm going to read a script, so I need you to just pay attention for me, okay? I'll ask if you have any questions when I'm done. All right. Ms. Akani, a fugitive warrant has been issued for your arrest. You do not have charges pending against you here in Clayton County. However, you have been brought to court today because you have charges pending against you looking out of Alabama, okay? And that state is requesting that you are returned to them to answer the charges of, it looks like, illegal substances or drugs, all right? In accordance with the laws of the state of Georgia, you are brought before me for an explanation of this proceeding. You have the right to contest the legality of this warrant and all extradition proceedings, or you may waive your right to extradition proceedings and voluntarily be returned to the state of Alabama that's requesting your detention. Before you tell me whether or not you want to waive extradition or not, let me explain to you the following rights. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. If you want to contest the legality of this extradition proceedings, then you must file or have filed on your behalf a writ of habeas corpus. You will be allowed a reasonable amount of time to file such writ, okay? You may file a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition. The writ of habeas corpus can only contest the following things. So if you want to challenge the state of Alabama's request to send you over, these are the things that you can challenge. Whether extradition documents are in order on their face, whether you are charged with a crime in the state of Alabama, whether you're the actual person named in the request for extradition, and whether you are in fact a fugitive. You cannot contest the issue of whether you are guilty or not guilty in this state. You are entitled to the advice of counsel in deciding whether to contest or waive extradition if you so desire. Now, here's a very important part, so pay attention. If you waive extradition, the state of Alabama will have 30 days to come and get you. If Alabama has not picked you up in 30 days, you will be released, okay? If you contest extradition and the state of Alabama is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county for an additional 60 days awaiting your extradition. So if you waive, they have 30 days to come and get you. And if they don't, you're free to go. If you contest, then they have 30 days to come and get you. But if they don't, you may have to be there for an additional 60 days. I'm not saying you will, I'm not saying you won't. Okay. Now, do you wish to waive extradition and be returned to Alabama, or do you wish to contest and have formal extradition proceedings?
I want to be returned.
Speak up for me.
I do want to be returned to.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds to me like you are wishing to waive extradition. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Okay. And are you making that decision freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay. So there's going to be some paperwork. Do y'all have the extradition waiver paperwork for her?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So Miss Akani, you're going to sign that paperwork. And then once it's signed, I will sign it and send it back. And then the state of Alabama will have 30 days to come and get you. Now, I don't know if that 30 days start right now or when you were taken into custody or when it's processed. I don't know. Okay. But I don't think you've been there very long. So, assume the worst and hope for the best. Okay. Now, do you have any questions? Oh, and I'm not going to grant a bond on these charges. It doesn't make any sense to do that. But the point is that you're going to waive and they'll have 30 days to come and get you, and then you'll be released if they don't. Now, do you have any questions?
Yes, I was told there was a 72-hour time for them to come pick me up.
No, that is not correct. They have a total of 30 days. Now, they may come and get you. That may be their policy to come and get you within 72 hours, but that's not what the law requires. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you. They'll get you the paperwork to fill out. Okay. And then I'm going to appoint an attorney for you if for whatever reason.
Come in here, Sandra.
Thank you.
Next,
All right.
tell me your name out loud. Speak loud, please.
Next person. All right. What's your name?
Carter, Marion.
Okay. Miss Carter. All right, Miss Carter. All right, Ms. Carter, you are charged with one count of simple battery. That is a misdemeanor. The bond is $2,000. One count of battery, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is $3,000. And then one count of aggravated assault, which is a felony. The bond is $5,000. So your total bond is $10,000. Okay. Now you do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with is this Terry Morrison. Okay. So do not have any contact with that person. Also, do not go back to the 190 Scarsdale Drive address. Now that appears to be your residence. Do you need to get your belongings from there?
You know, you're not allowed your
Yes,
ass.
Okay,
yes, sir.
okay, I got you. I'm gonna put in here that you're allowed to go and get your belongings, but you have to go with the sheriff's department to do it, okay? It's on the bond. Now, you can either go with the sheriff's or you can have somebody get the belongings that you need. Once your case is resolved,
Don't look
or
at
these conditions are changed, then you can
You stand right
access that residence one more time.
Stand up
If you
and
want.
stand right here.
Now, you do have the
Thanks.
right to, I'm sorry, your next court date is on August the 23rd, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that particular court date, okay? Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court-appointed attorney.
Okay, I'm gonna grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
You said, I could get someone to bring my belongings, get my
Yeah.
belongings, right?
Yeah, if you have a friend or a family member that's not gonna cause any trouble and they can go and get your stuff, then go and get your stuff. Now, don't have them cause any trouble because that's gonna get them in trouble.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you need to get your stuff and you can have somebody else do it, just don't go there by yourself, okay? Take the sheriff's department or get someone else. All right,
Okay. Yes, sir.
Got a question?
all right, good luck to you.
Good
All right, what's your name, man?
Bridget Gadsden.
All right, Miss Gadsden, just a second here. All right, Miss Gadsden, you are charged with one count of simple battery. The bond is going to be $2,000, which is a misdemeanor. You are to not have any contact with Mr. Darius Stevenson. It's my understanding that he was also taken into custody on this. Do you all live at that residence together, or whose
That's my-
residence is that?
It's my residence.
Okay, give me just a second. I'm gonna see what address he used.
Okay.
Okay, I see that he used a different address. So luckily for you, I was able to verify it because I initially said that you couldn't go back there, but I'm going to take that condition off because it does appear that that is your address and he has a different one. Now I'm going to tell him not to go to your address, okay? Your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I want appointed.
Okay, give me just a second. Okay, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case? All right, good luck to you.
Next.
Next.
Next. Call loud for me, please.
All right, what's your name?
Jasmine Harris.
Okay. Let's see. I have a Jasmine Harris. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right, Ms. Harris. Looks like you were charged with one misdemeanor count of no insurance, one misdemeanor count of expired tag, and one misdemeanor count of driving either without a license or on a suspended license. Your total bond is $1,000 for the insurance, $500 for the tag, and $1,500 for the license charge. So your total bond is $3,000. Are you going to be able to make that?
Yes.
So it's somewhere between $300 and $600, let's say. Are you going to be able to make that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Very good. Well, your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Be considered for appointed.
Okay, I will do that. These are relatively minor charges. The biggest one is the no driver's license. So if you keep getting that charge, eventually it's going to be a felony, and that's a silly reason to have a felony. I mean, it's a silly reason to get a felony, but that's the most silliest one. So get your driver's license situation taken care of, because in Georgia, we don't have good public transportation, unfortunately. So you got to drive everywhere. So when you get out, go get your driver's license. That way you don't have to come back and see us. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions?
None that I can ask you, no.
Okay. All right. Well, save it for your lawyer. Good luck.
So your first and last name.
Okay.
Yes,
What's your
good
name?
job.
Okay.
Yes, good job.
I got you, Miss Jones. Give me just a second. All right, Miss Jones, you are charged with one count of disorderly conduct, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is $1,500, and one count of misdemeanor obstruction. The bond is $500. So your total bond is $2,000. Okay. Your next court date is August the 22nd. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed. What would you like to do?
Hi, Mom.
Okay. Do you know who that's going to be?
No.
Not yet. Okay, that's fine. We'll just make sure that they put their paperwork in as quickly as possible so they know to get the ball rolling. Do you have any questions about your case? Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I got 32 seconds. First and last
What's your name?
Tatiana Lorraine.
Yeah. All right, Miss Laurent. You are charged with misdemeanor false report of a crime. I wavered back and forth on this. I don't particularly. This is a tough one. Is by the letter of the law, there's enough there. Okay. Now I'm not saying that this is going to be the case and whatever, but anyway, I gave you the lowest bond I could of $500. Okay. Are you going to be able to make that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Your next court date is on August the 22nd. But when you bond out, you don't need to appear for that particular court date. Okay. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Well, I mean, they can get
A
it.
court appointment, please.
I called him, he said he could make it. He finna make the sentence. Yeah, they don't think they gonna be it.
Okay. All right. I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
No, that'll be all.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
All right. What's your name?
Nicole Montgomery.
All right. Miss Montgomery.
Stand up for a reason, huh? Stand up for a reason.
Just a moment.
All
All right, Miss Montgomery, you were charged with one count of battery misdemeanor. The bond is $1,000, and one count of affray. The bond is $1,000. So your total bond is $2,000. You do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Jason Ingram. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, Paul as well. Yeah, he is. I'm going to tell him the same thing, to not have any contact with you. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd, but if you bond out, you do not need to pay for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do? Oh, it's muted. Okay.
Can I take the court appointed attorney?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I will grant that request for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
Not a question, but it's a statement. Me and Jason are leasing an apartment together.
Okay, well, here's the thing. It looks like it didn't happen at wherever it is that you guys were staying, but you're gonna have a no contact with him. He's gonna have a no contact with you. So y'all need to figure out who's gonna stay there, who's not gonna stay there, how y'all gonna get your stuff of who's not. You know, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but here's the thing. Y'all aren't supposed to be around each other because y'all aren't good for each other, at least not right now. You know, once your case is done or your bond conditions change or his bond condition and his change, then y'all can be around each other. And hopefully y'all don't get yourselves into trouble. But as of right now, until that's the case, y'all can't be around each other. All right. Good luck to you.
My name is Bertrand White.
Okay.
I'm putting them in the phone. Lamar. Hey,
Something that's white. I'm just grabbing the. Okay, Miss White, you are charged with 1 count of reckless conduct, which is a misdemeanor.
You got one more to go.
I'm dismissing that charge against you. Okay. One of the main reasons I'm dismissing against you is I don't have a victim's name or date of birth. So some people would say that a technicality. I say that that's just following the law. The allegations here are, you know, not very flattering to you. You know what I mean? I understand I have children, and they can be very frustrating, but I mean, you know, you're a grown up. So you have to, you know, find productive ways of dealing with children. You know, you have to lead by example. And, you know, I can't say that you were leading by example, but I also can't say that you broke the law, at least not in my eyes. So, you know, look, just because I dismiss it doesn't mean that they can't come back and add facts later on down the road. I believe the statute of limitations is 2 years. I'm not saying that they will. I'm not saying that they won't. But just understand that you as the adult, as the parent, you have to act in a way that's going to not end you up where you are right now. Okay. So as long as you do not have anything holding you, I will draw up the dismissal and send it to the sheriff's office and they'll get you processed out. So don't pick up any more charges while you're there. Be on your P's and Q's. Just be patient. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
All right. Please don't come back.
No, I won't. Trust me.
All right. We'll see. All right. Any more females?
No, that's all the females, Your Honor. Do you want the translator to come out first?
Yes, please.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Toles. I want to say I know who this person is, but I don't want to be presumptuous. Some people may speak another language and you don't know.
All right, Your Honor. Here's a translator right here.
Okay. Ms. Toles, if I can get you to raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that you will accurately translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. If you could ask this gentleman what his name is, please.
Señor, ¿cuál es su nombre, por favor?
Junior Omar García, La Reinaga.
Omar García, La Reinaga.
Okay. Let me find him on my. Okay. La Reinaga. Okay. No. You said La Reinaga, correct?
La Reinaga, ¿cierto, señor?
Sí, cierto.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. I got it.
That should be.
All right, sir, you are charged with one misdemeanor count of battery.
Muy bien, señor. A usted se le imputa una sola infracción de violencia como delito menor.
I am going to set a bond of $3,500.
Le voy a imponer una fianza a $3,500.
Okay.
Now, you do have a special condition of your bond.
Ahora, su fianza conlleva una condición especial.
Do not have any contact with Elvia Garcia.
Que no tenga ningún contacto con Elvia García.
Okay. Also, to not return to 9074 Greenwood Drive.
Y también que no regrese al 9074 de la Greenwood Drive,
And that is in Jonesboro, Georgia.
que está ubicado en Jonesboro, Georgia.
Is that your, excuse me, is that your address?
Señor, ¿es su domicilio?
Ese es.
Yes, that's right.
Do you need to get your belongings from there?
Necesita ir a recoger sus pertenencias de ahí.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to put in your bond that you are able to get your belongings from there, but you have to go with this, you make arrangements with the sheriff's department in order to do so. You can't just show up by yourself and say that you want to get your stuff.
Señor, voy a disponer en su orden de fianza que a usted se le permite regresar a recoger sus pertenencias, pero solamente lo puede hacer acompañado de un agente del departamento del sheriff. Usted tendrá que arreglar una cita con ellos para que le acompañe. No puede nada más presentarse ahí y exigir sus cosas.
You wanted to go ahead and get them the guys at 12 first.
Your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd.
Su próxima cita judicial, señor, será el 22 de agosto.
If you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date.
Y si sale en libertad bajo fianza, no tendrá que presentarse a esa cita judicial.
You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney.
Usted tiene derecho a contratar a su propio abogado o ser considerado para el nombramiento de un abogado de oficio.
What would you like to do?
Como quisiera, señor.
Quisiera pagar la fianza hoy mismo, si es posible.
I would like to pay the bond today, if that's possible.
That will be possible to you, but I need to know if you want to hire an attorney or if you want me to appoint one for you.
Eso sí sería posible, señor, pero también necesito saber si usted quiere contratar a su propio abogado o quiere que yo le nombre un abogado de oficio.
Eso es para la próxima cita.
And that would be for the next court date?
Well, it'll be for your entire case, but yes, they'll be with you for your next court date.
Será para todo el caso, pero sí, le acompañará en la próxima cita judicial, señor.
Okay. Aunque pague la fianza hoy.
Even if I pay my bond today?
Yes, just because you pay your bond, that doesn't mean the case is over. You're still going to have to go to court in the future.
Sí, aunque se pague la fianza hoy mismo, no significa que el caso se haya terminado. Más adelante tendrá que presentarse a citas judiciales.
Okay.
Okay.
Voy a contratar a un abogado.
I'm going to hire an attorney.
Okay, very good. That's fine. Just make sure you tell them that they need to file their paperwork so that the court knows that they're going to represent you.
Muy bien, señor. Está bien. Solamente infórmales que tienen que presentar su carta de representación con el tribunal para que el tribunal sepa que lo está representando. ¿Está bien?
Sí, está bien.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about your case?
¿Alguna pregunta, señor, sobre su caso?
Sí, ¿puedo pagar mi fianza hoy para salir hoy mismo?
Yes. May I pay my bond today to be released today?
Okay. The answer to your first question is yes, you can pay it today. The answer to the second question of whether you can leave today, if you do not have any holds on you, if you don't have any charges anywhere else, and you do not have any immigration holds, then yes, you should be released as quickly as we can process everything.
Sí, señor. La respuesta a la primera pregunta es sí, se puede pagar la fianza hoy mismo. Y la respuesta a la segunda pregunta es, si usted no tiene ninguna orden de detención en otro lugar, ninguna otra acusación o cargos pendientes en otro lugar, y si tampoco tiene orden de detención de inmigración, a usted lo pueden dejar en libertad en cuanto se puede tramitar la salida bajo fianza.
¿A qué horas puedo saber eso yo?
What time would I be able to know that?
Unfortunately, I can't give you that, but as soon as we're done with everybody, they're gonna start processing the paperwork. So we're gonna do it as quickly as possible.
Lamentablemente no le puedo dar esa información, pero en cuanto se termine con todas las personas detenidas para la lista de hoy, van a empezar a tramitar las salidas de fianza. Entonces, en cuanto se pueda.
We're gonna go off the list, but you're gonna bring them straight out 12.
All right. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Muy bien, buena suerte, señor.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Siento.
All right, Ms. Tolles, I think that's all we have. We don't have anyone else for a Spanish interpreter, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Ms. Tolles, you're free to go. Siempre es un placer verte.
Igualmente.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
We got a couple guys on the same related charges, some of the charges that occurred in jail. Do you want to see them first or you want to see them last?
I mean, we've got a lot of those. So, I mean, if they're a problem for you all, just bring them up and I'll figure it out. You just give me who you got, and then I got the paperwork in alphabetical order, but I'm happy to take it if they're a problem.
Okay. Yeah, right. All right, Your Honor, I got you covered.
Okay. Just make sure they tell me their name when they come up, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So we're about to get them guys right now. It should be Billups, the first one coming up.
Okay.
Once they see it.
But no.
And then we'll keep that.
Keep it simple.
You're from battery.
I'm right here, listen, right here. Look at the judge, tell me your last name and first name.
My name is Sean Billups.
All right, Mr. Billups, you were charged with one count of felony riot in a penal institution, one count of aggravated assault, which is a felony, one count of aggravated battery, which is a felony, inmate in possession of illegal substance, which is a felony, interference with government property, which is a felony, and conspiracy to commit a crime, and the underlying being a felony. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 felony charges. Because you are already in custody and picked up these charges, I'm not going to grant a bond. It's been considered and denied on all charges. Your next court date is going to be on August 23rd. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Get a court attorney.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case?
No.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Hey, fine.
Who's next?
Give me your first and last name.
Corey Dillard.
Get back.
Give me just a second, sir.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
All right, Mr. Dillon, you were charged with one count of rioting in a penal institution, which is a felony, one count of aggravated assault with an object, which is a felony, one count of aggravated battery, which is a felony, inmate in possession of a illegal substance, which is a felony, interference with government property, which is a felony, and conspiracy to commit a crime with the underlying being a felony. Because you are incarcerated and picked up these charges, bond has been considered and denied on all charges. Your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Say it loud. Say it loud. Court appointed attorney. Say it loud.
I just hire my own attorney.
Are you on? Let me know. Talk to the judge.
I hire my own attorney, Judge.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I'm going to put. If you change your mind on your next court date, just let them know. Do you have any questions? All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Person.
Oh, it's on mute.
Shamarion Felix.
Okay, Mr. Felix. Mr. Felix, did you hear what I just told the other two people?
No, sir.
Okay, that's all right. I was just curious. All right, Mr. Felix, you're charged with one count of rioting in a penal institution, which is, well, all charges are felonies, okay? All your charges are felonies: rioting, aggravated assault, aggravated battery, inmate in possession of an illegal object, interference with government property, and conspiracy to commit a crime with the underlying felony. Bond has been considered and denied on all of your charges, so I'm not granting a bond on anything. Your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd for your preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed attorney.
Got it. All right, I'm going to grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
Yes, sir. Do you think I'm guilty?
Well, it's not up to me to decide that, Mr. Felix. Unfortunately, in this step, this is just whether there's probable cause, and I do find that there's probable cause for the warrant. But you'll be going to a preliminary hearing where you can actually make the state put up evidence against you at that hearing, not at this one though. So it doesn't. That question is a good one, but it's irrelevant. Any other questions?
Okay, so you're not going to be the officer. I mean, not the officer, but the judge. Okay, this is not superior.
I'm not going to be the one in Superior Court. Probably not. I mean, I could be, but not right now. All right. All right. Good luck to you. We have Gordon coming up. What's your name, sir?
Mr. Gordon.
All right, Mr. Gordon. All right, sir. You are charged, all charges are felonies, rioting in a penal institution, aggravated assault, aggravated battery, inmate in possession, illegal substance, interference with government property, and conspiracy to commit a crime, underlying felony. Bond has been considered and denied on all charges, so I'm not going to put a bond on any of these charges right now.
Where is that, sir?
I'm sorry?
Where is that, Your Honor?
Well, A, you're already in custody and now you're picking up these charges, and B, these are pretty serious charges. So if you can't behave yourself in jail, why would I give you a bond so you can act wild out on the streets? That doesn't make any sense, sir. Now, your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd. You'll have an opportunity to have the state put up evidence against you if that's what you want to do, or they can negotiate with the DA's office for a bond if they're willing to do that. All right. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What do you want to do?
I would have to speak. Can I speak to my lawyer first? I do have a paid attorney. I'll go with my paid lawyer.
Okay. Well, just make sure that they understand that, if you have previous charges, they may not know that they're going to represent you on these current charges. So just make sure you discuss it with them. Okay. All right. So I got it that you're going to hire your own attorney. Do you have any questions?
I thought it was proven guilty to proven innocent to guilty, sir.
No, it's not proven anything. You were charged with a crime, and I find that there's probable cause. I'm not saying that you're guilty. I didn't sentence you to any punishment, but I'm not going to grant a bond. Any other questions? No. All right. What's your name, sir?
Ralph. Yeah, you got his second.
Hold on. It got cut off. Give me that name one more time.
Malcolm.
Yeah, you said that.
First and last name. That's your last name.
Oh, all right. Jalen Malcolm, is that you?
Yes, you are.
A little bit of a delay, Mr. Malcolm. So when I stop speaking, if you talk too fast, it gets cut off. All right, sir. You are charged with all of these charges are felonies, by the way. One count of rioting in a penal institution, one count of aggravated assault with a weapon, one count or an object, one count of aggravated battery, one count of inmate in possession of a illegal object, one count of interference with government property, and one count of conspiracy to commit a crime with the underlying crime being a felony. Just as I told your co-defendants that bond has been considered and denied on all these charges. Y'all are already in custody and catching more charges. So I'm not going to grant a bond in order for y'all to get out and start acting wild in the community. Your next court date is August the 23rd for a preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do? Say that one more time.
Oh yeah, yeah, I get an attorney.
Well,
no, you can give me an attorney.
oh, okay, got you. Understood. You just have to. It's a court appointed attorney, but I got you. I understand what you're saying. Okay, all right, Mr. Malcolm. Do you have any questions about your case?
Nah.
All right. Good luck to you. Next should be Matthew. What's your name, sir?
Devon Matthews.
All right, Mr. Matthews, you, I don't know if you heard what I told Mr. Malcolm and the other gentleman. You were charged with all felonies, one count of rioting in a penal institution, one count of aggravated assault, one count of aggravated battery, one count of inmate in possession of a legal object, one count of interference with government property, and one count of conspiracy to commit a crime with the underlying crime being a felony. Bond has been considered and denied on all charges, so I'm not granting a bond on any of them. Your next court date is August the 23rd for a preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
You hired me an attorney, sir?
Yeah, I'll consider you for a court appointed. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I can't hire anyone, but I understand what you're asking me to do. And yes, I will appoint an attorney for you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
They going in here?
No, we're going back. No, we're going back. Oh, yeah.
What's your name, sir?
Here, McGee.
Mr. McGee. Mr. McGee, you were charged, all charges are felonies. You were charged with one count of rioting in a penal institution, one count of aggravated assault, one count of aggravated battery, one count of inmate in possession of illegal substance, one count of interference with government property, and one count of conspiracy to commit a crime with the underlying crime being a felony. I have considered bond and denied on all charges, so I'm not going to set a bond on any of these charges. Your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd for a preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do? Oh, it was on. I got you. All right. Mr. McGee, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case, sir?
Who is the victim?
I'm sorry?
You say I got what you say, who is the victim? Like you say, I'm charged with aggravated assault, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So who is the victim on like?
Oh, I got you. Give me just a moment, sir.
Nah, he don't know that Clayton made that. It was an accident. I know that. I know that. Yeah. I can't shoot now.
Quintavious Brown.
Quintavious Brown.
That's the listed victim. And understand that you and your co-defendants, you're all charged under what I imagine is a theory of party to a crime. So even if you didn't personally do it, if you acted in concert with them, everyone who acted is just as guilty as if they were the ones to actually assault the person. So, discuss it with your lawyer at the preliminary hearing. You all are more than welcome to have the state put up evidence against you. And I imagine some of, or all of you probably will, on August the 23rd. All right. Any other questions?
Nah.
All right. All right. What's your name, sir?
Being walked. Look, Mr. Cameron right here.
Wait, what's your name?
Being walked.
Oh, we don't have Powell. Powell was the next one. I don't know. Okay, hold on, sir.
That camera talking to.
All right, Mr. Walker, you were charged, all charges are felonies. You were charged with 1 count of rioting in a penal institution, 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of aggravated battery, 1 count of inmate in possession of a illegal object, 1 count of interference with government property, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit a crime with the underlying crime being a felony. I've considered bond and denied it in all charges, so I'm not going to set a bond. Your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd for a preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I would like to be considered for a court-appointed attorney, but I'm pretty sure y'all just gonna keep continuing the court. So I guess I need to go ahead and just hire me another lawyer.
Well, here's the thing. I know that you're in on other charges. That's completely separate. So don't look at these things as together. So you can either have a court-appointed attorney or you can hire your own. You just tell me what you want to do.
You get a court-appointed lawyer. But look, why say why?
All right, I'm going to grant that request. Now, listen, you can ask a question, but don't ask me logistically of why this and why that. It's just, you can ask me a question about this particular case, but not about the facts and circumstances. So do you have a question or are you good?
Oh, so you can't give me no facts about the case?
I mean, I can just tell you what you're being charged with, and the victim is a Mr. Quintavious Brown. But this ain't an evidentiary hearing. I don't have to present the evidence. That'll be for August the 23rd. Okay.
All right, and there's no reason why my bun.
I'm sorry?
There's no reason why you deny my bun.
Yeah, I have a very good reason. You're already in custody. Why? It doesn't make sense that you commit allegedly. I've got enough proof to say that there's probable cause here that you either did participate yourself or acted in with other people to commit these crimes. I'm not setting a bond on that. Anything else?
Go ahead. Look at the camera here. We'll first name.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Tyler Williams.
I'm sorry?
Tyler Williams.
I didn't understand him. Hey, what's his name? I didn't understand him.
Tyler Williams.
Oh, okay, Mr. Williams. I got you. Thank you, sir. I got you. All right, Mr. Williams, you are charged with numerous offenses. All of them are felonies. You are charged with 1 count of riding in a penal institution, 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of aggravated battery, 1 count of giving or inmate in possession of an illegal substance, 1 count of conspiracy to commit a crime with the underlying crime being a felony, and 1 count of interference with government property. I have considered bond on all these charges, and bond is being denied on all charges. So that means I'm not setting a bond. You do have your next court date is August the 23rd. For preliminary hearing, you do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Public defender.
Okay, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case, Mr. Williams?
Am I going home?
I'm sorry?
Am I going home?
Are you going home? You're going back to the jail. That's going to be your home until at least the 23rd.
Yeah. Give us a minute, Your Honor.
Okay. Do y'all have Powell, by the way?
Yes, we do, Powell. You need to see him next.
Yeah, let me go ahead and get him.
Oh, we got. Deputy Tyson to them guys up in housing in the fits. Y'all have the guys security this time. You bring Powell. Them guys up in housing unit 6, SO75, are them guys secured this time? Got the next half coming up at this time.
All right, are you Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Powell, you are charged with 6 counts, all felonies. 1 count of riding in a penal institution, 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of aggravated battery, 1 count of inmate in possession of illegal substance, 1 count of interference with government property, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit a crime with underlying crime being a felony. I have considered bond on all these charges, and I'm not granting a bond on any charges at this time. Mr. Powell, I feel like I've seen you before. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like I've seen you before. Your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd for a preliminary hearing. That's when you and can have the state put up evidence against you if you wish to do that. Okay. Now you do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I would like to take all those charges. They ain't had nothing to do with it.
I'm sorry?
I want to take all those charges. All of them ain't had nothing to do with it.
So let me help you out real quick. I understand what you're saying, and that's seems to be a pretty noble thing for you, Mr. Powell, but you'll need to discuss that with your lawyer on the 23rd, okay? As your preliminary hearing date comes up, because that's going to be the first opportunity that your lawyer can talk to the DA's office and negotiate your case, okay? So now remember, everything that you say right now is being recorded and they could use it against you and all those other people. So don't, I understand what you want to do, but just relax and talk to the lawyer about strategically moving in that direction, okay? Do you want to hire your own or do you want me to appoint one for you?
Appoint.
Okay. All right, Mr. Powell. Again, I feel like I've seen you before. And I mean, here's the thing. Based on what you just said, it seems like this incident kind of revolves around you. And I would imagine that the food options at the Clayton County Jail aren't very tasty. Would you agree with that or disagree?
Can you say that again?
I'm saying that I don't think the food options at the jail are very delicious. Is that
Oh,
right? And
life
I
is
imagine,
important.
and I imagine that the conditions there aren't what you would like to be living under. Is that right?
Now my life is important.
I understand. So, Mr. Powell, I had kind of figured that you were the center of all this, but I don't have all the information. Whether it's you or your influence over these other people, look at where everybody is. You're grown up, you're a grown man, you have to act accordingly. And if you ever want to live in conditions that are better than the Clayton County Jail or the state penal system, or you want to have food that tastes delicious and not like the Clayton County Jail and the state penal system, you just have to grow up. I mean, you're grown, but you have to grow up. And these are serious charges. And, based on what you said, it doesn't look bright for you, Mr. Powell, but it's never too late to turn it around. Samuel L. Jackson's one of the richest actors on the planet, and he was a drug addict, probably around the same age that you are. So my point is this: let's just get it together, Mr. Powell. Don't cause any more trouble for yourself. Don't cause any more trouble for the people that you're around. Don't cause any more trouble for the deputies. Don't cause any more trouble, period. And the sooner that happens, the sooner you can get on and live the lifestyle that you probably want. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you'll either heed that advice or you won't. It's up to you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Powell. Good luck to you.
Come on, pal. Come on,
Just give me your first and last name. Okay.
All right. What's your first and last name, sir?
Allen.
Say
My
it
first
again.
name is Hamp, Hamp, and my last name is Allen, Allen.
Okay. Give me just a second, Mr. Allen. Guys, that's the last of those inmates with those charges. That's the last one that y'all had, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. All right, Mr. Allen, give me just a moment. Let me shuffle some things
Now we're about
around.
to proceed with normal.
I'm sorry?
Now we're about to proceed with the normal.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I've got Mr. Allen. I was just putting my paperwork together.
Okay.
All right, let me get Mr. Allen back.
Okay.
How you are, Phil? Once you done.
All right, Mr. Allen, you were charged with misdemeanor, simple battery, family violence, and then misdemeanor cruelty to children in a third. On the battery charge, the bond is $3,500. On the cruelty to children charge, the bond is $2,000. So your total bond is $5,500. You do have a special condition to not have any contact with Regina Colston. Okay.
Colston. Yeah, that's my wife. Yeah.
I understand. But here's the thing, you can't have any contact with her until either A, your case is resolved, or B, there's a modification to this bond order, okay?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. Also, do not go back to the 4653. 4653 Ridgewood Drive. Is that your residence, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I understand. So what I'm going to do is, like I discussed earlier, I'm putting in your bond conditions that you could either A, go there with the sheriff's department and get your stuff, or B, have somebody take your belongings again until your case is resolved, or the bond conditions are changed. Your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd. But if you August the 22nd, but if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I would like for the court to appoint me one.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case, Mr. Allen?
Yes, sir. I got a question about the bond.
Okay.
My question is, you said I got a $3,500. I mean, a 35,000. You said
No. 3,500 on one
okay.
and
I got
2,000 on the other.
3,500. Okay, so is them together so together is my bond gonna be like 5,500?
Correct.
And then can I use 10% to a bail bondsman?
Yes.
It's typically 10 to 20%. I can't tell you the exact number,
It's
but
on the
yeah.
bond.
And I got one more question. All right, if my family, can somebody sign off on my bond online?
See,
Like,
yeah, I wish I could answer that question for you. I would have already said it because I get that question all the time. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
All right, no problem. Good luck to you. What's your name, sir?
Here, Brian.
Oh, that's not the. Wait, give me that one more time.
Terry Brown.
Oh, they said they couldn't find you, Mr. Brown, but apparently they did find you.
Yeah, it's Durham.
All right, Mr. Brown, you're charged with one count of, let me see,
Can I finish your money?
2 counts of sexual battery. They appear to be felonies. Your your bond on each count is $10,000. So that's a total of 20,000. Also, do not have any contact with Maria Victoria or Noelia Carl. I assume you don't know who they are. Also, do not go back to the Atlanta airport unless you have a valid plane ticket to fly. So just don't go back there. Okay. If you need to get somewhere, drive. Don't go back to the airport. Your next court date is August the 23rd. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to be considered for a court-appointed attorney, or you can hire your own. What would you like to do?
Either or.
I'm sorry?
I said either or.
Well, I mean, you tell me which one.
Lawyer.
Huh?
Lawyer, man. Lawyer, man. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna appoint one for you. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. I do have a question.
Okay.
I'm down there. I'm gonna ask you a question, man. If I'm with another insignificant other, well, a significant other.
No, I'm not answering. That's not the type of question that I can answer.
Next.
Anything else?
No.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Next.
What's your name?
My printer Daryl.
Oh, Mr. Darrow. I got you. All right, Mr. Darrow, you are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of public drunkenness. The bond is 1,000. 1 misdemeanor count of disorderly conduct. The bond is 1,500. And 1 misdemeanor count of battery. The bond is 3,500. Your total bond is $6,000. Okay. You do have a special condition not to have any contact with Joshua Sexton, who you probably don't even know, and do not return back to 6595 Terra Boulevard. That's Cafe Hot Wing Restaurant. Do not go back to that restaurant. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on August the 22nd. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I take the whatever attorney I get.
Okay, the court-appointed. Okay, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No? Okay, all right, good luck to you, sir.
He's from medical.
At work, go to the computer, take all of that.
At work.
What's your name?
Jeremiah Atwater.
All right, Mr. Atwater, you were charged with 1 count of commercial burglary and 1 count of criminal trespass. I'm dismissing the case against you. I don't have enough evidence to hold you on these particular charges. Now, those charges, if they come back and are written in a way to where there's
It was here when I
evidence against you, then that could happen. I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm not saying that it won't happen, but they're not written in a way to where I can hold you here. So as long as you don't pick up any charges and you don't have anything that's holding you, we'll get that paperwork signed and you'll be free to go. So long as you don't have anything holding you. Do you understand? Do you have any questions? Huh?
So you said if I was trying to hold anything?
No, if you do not have for example, if you do not have a probation violation, if you're not wanted in another county, if you don't have an immigration hold, as long as those things aren't in place, you'll be free to go as soon as this paperwork is processed. I'm dismissing the case against you.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay, right there.
All right. Good luck.
No.
What's your name?
We said, bill 5,000.
Okay. All right, sir. Mr. Hayden, you are charged with 1 count of misdemeanor battery. The bond is 5,000. 1 count of felony false imprisonment. The bond is 5,000. You also have 2 cruelty to children charges. I'm dismissing those. There's no victim listed in there, so I'm dismissing it. Those charges may come back later, just FYI. You also have a special condition, do not have any contact with Jennifer Porter. So do not have any contact with her. Also, do not return to 276 Upper Riverdale Road. Don't go back there. Your next court date is on August the 23rd, but if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
For a court appointment, I have a question.
Give me a second. All right, I'm going to grant the request for a court-appointed attorney. What is your question?
I do live with that resident. Another question, is there any way you can lower the bond? I can get out a little sooner at school.
The answer. So your first thing is, you listed a different address on your court-appointed form. You listed an address at Poplar Springs. But to the extent that you need to get any belongings there, I will put in the bond order that you can go to the sheriff's department and they'll go with you to get your stuff, or you can have someone get your stuff for you, so long as they don't make a scene and cause any trouble. As far as the bond goes, no. Any other questions?
Sir.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
So the total amount is 10,000?
Correct.
All right.
I dismissed 2 of the charges against you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next? All right. What's your name?
Jason here.
Okay. Mr. Ingram.
Yes.
Sir, you're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is 1,000, and then 1 misdemeanor count of affray. The bond is 1,000. You do have a special condition to not have any contact with Miss Nicole Montgomery. Now, I know that she was also taken into custody, and I told her not to have any contact with you. Okay, so y'all just stay away from each other until all of this resolves itself. Y'all may not be the most compatible people. I don't know what your relationship is, or even if there is one or whatever, but just she's not good for you, you're not good for her. Your next court date is August the 22nd. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court-appointed.
Okay. I will grant that request. Do you have any questions, Mr. Egan?
Yes, so my bond is 2,000, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck. Don't come back.
Thank you. I won't.
All right.
Hey, you can't.
What's your name, sir?
Robert Jackson.
All right, Mr. Jackson. Let me see here.
Who got next?
Mr. Jackson, I struggled with this one, to be quite honest with you. You're charged with misdemeanor criminal trespass. The bond is $500. I can't really go any lower than that because then a bonding company won't touch you. Are you gonna be able to make that?
Yes. But I got paid the whole 500.
Usually it's 10 to 20%, but I mean, if you can pay the full 500, just, you know, that's up to you if you want to do that as well.
You gotta talk to them down there. We don't have to tell them what it
Your
is.
next court date is going to be on August the 22nd, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date, okay?
You go back, let them know. Like I said, we don't have
You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Put me in for a court-appointed attorney.
Question is there anybody else I can talk to? You can actually talk to the supervisor when you go.
Okay, I will grant that request. Mr. Jackson, like I said, I struggle with this one because I understand the situation, but you know, listen, man, you're a grown up. And so, you know, you just have to, sometimes kids do things and they make you mad and you want to do a lot worse than even what you did. I get it. I have children, but you have to be the adult and set the example, just like I told a young lady earlier. You know what I mean? You have to find a constructive way to do it. And it's harder, especially with children these days. Trust me, I get it. But you don't need to be here for stuff like this. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Jackson, good luck to you. Let's not see you here again, okay?
Yeah, bye.
All right, next, Mr. Lawson.
All right, what's your name?
When you go around.
Mr. Lawson. Come on, man. Right in the camera. Get the camera.
Are you Mr. Johnson?
Oh, Lawson. Oh, Lawson.
Y'all, I gotta get a special key. Y'all
Wait.
got
Who have I got?
That's Mr. Lawson.
Mr. Charles Lawson.
Oh, okay. Why am I not? Give me just a second, Mr. Lawson. I know I have your paperwork.
Somebody bring key.
Okay, L. Ooh, just a second. Lawson, Charles Lawson. Let me. Let's see Mr. Lawson, because I have his paperwork here somewhere, but it might have gotten mixed in with someone else's. Let me get let's hold him. I'm sorry, Mr. Lawson. I've got your paperwork here somewhere, but I just need to find it. So we'll come back to you, okay?
What you say, Mr. Lawson?
I gotta get somebody else.
Okay. Next.
I know I got him because I marked him.
Yeah,
First and last name, both last, first and last name, please.
Right, both five.
like I said, we don't have the. That's all.
All right, Mr. Moffett, you are charged with misdemeanor, no driver's license, misdemeanor improper lane change, and misdemeanor destruction of a mailbox. The driver's license charge is 1,000, lane change is 500, and the mailbox is 500. So your total bond is $2,000. Okay, they're all misdemeanors. Your next court date is on August the 22nd. And if you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire an attorney, or one can be appointed for you. What would you like to do?
I need an attorney.
Okay.
He just finished what?
All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case?
No question. No, sir. So, no, sir.
Okay, all right, good luck to you.
Next.
It's good. You gotta keep doing the work.
All right, sir, you are charged with one count of misdemeanor battery. The bond is $3,500. And then one count of cruelty to children in the third. I'm dismissing that charge against you. So I dismiss one charge and the bond on the first one is $3,500. Okay. You have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Sharonda Alexander. Do not have any contact with her. Okay.
I got a question. Two
Hold
questions,
on.
sir.
Yeah, I'll let you ask a question. Just give me a second. Okay. Oh, your next court date is August 22nd, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that particular court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do before you ask your question? You want a court-appointed or you want to hire your own?
I take a public defender.
Okay. Okay. All right. What's your question?
Shit, she got my son. That's the only thing I care about.
I understand.
How can I communicate this? You know, get my son with her while I have no problems.
Sure. You're not the first person to have this issue, Mr. Roseborough. What you need to do is work through third parties for it. I'm just going to give you an example. This is not legal advice, but through the grandmothers, through the grandfathers, you're not to have any contact with her. But if it relates to, your child, you can contact them about getting your child. Okay. It's a difficult situation, but you're not the first person that's been in this. Secondary to that, you can, if appropriate, you can have an attorney file a motion to modify your bond conditions to where you can have no violent contact with her. But again, you'll need to speak to your attorney about that procedure. Okay. Almost done. We lost the court, so we'll just stand by until they get back. I'm in the sheriff's department. Someone's here.
I'll contact the jail to see what's going on with them.
Okay. You're back.
Sorry, Your Honor, we had some technical difficulties, but we back running.
Okay, no problem.
That's nice. Okay. We didn't go from where you.
LaShawn Roseborough.
Okay, give me just a second. Oh, did you have any questions, Mr. Roseborough?
Yeah, I was actually, what could I do like to see my son? Because I know I'm gonna have to talk to her to see my son.
Okay, so basically what I said was, and I guess you didn't hear me, is that you're not the first person that this has ever happened to. For example, you know, you could communicate with the grandparents, either your parents or her parents, about seeing the child, or you're gonna have to get creative, but you can't deal with her directly, okay? And then second to that is you can discuss with your attorney about filing a motion to modify the bond conditions to where you could have no violent contact with her. But they'll be the ones to know how to do it and what to put in there and things of that nature, okay? So just, you know, I'm not saying that it's easy, but again, you're not the first person that this has ever happened to. It's going to be difficult, but you're just going to have to be creative, okay?
Sir.
Okay.
And
Any other questions?
So that's pretty much it. That's when I'm gonna see my son. That's all.
I understand. Well, I appreciate you wanting to be in your son's life. That's a good thing that's a good attitude.
Oh, for sure. Always.
All right. Good luck. What's your name?
Amari Sims.
All right, Mr. Sims. Mr. Sims, you are charged with one count of obstruction of an officer, misdemeanor. I'm dismissing the case against you. It doesn't mean that, well, I don't have enough evidence to say that this rises to the level of criminality. But as you can see, when you're interacting with police officers, you need to be a little bit more wise on what you do and how you listen and how you react to what they're telling you, right? Because you still ended up in jail for some amount of time, and I imagine that you don't like being there. So just, I'm all for standing up for your rights and asserting them, but just know that sometimes that carries consequences. Now, luckily in this situation, it worked out in your favor, and I'm dismissing it. But just be mindful next time of what your reaction is. If you don't like something, you know, even if you're right, sometimes it has consequences, and it's probably best that you just not have been here at all. All right. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. As long as you don't have any holds, you'll be good to go in a little bit. What's your name?
Darius Stevenson.
All right, Mr. Stevenson.
Get on the elevator.
Mr. Stevenson, you are charged with 1 count of battery, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is 5,000. 1 count of misdemeanor criminal trespass, the bond is 1,000. You're not to have any contact with Miss Gadsden, Bridget Gadsden. It's my understanding that she was also taken into custody, and I told her not to have any contact with you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me see. Okay, y'all live at different places, so.
Yeah, we live in different places.
Okay, you don't have anything at that Alpine address, do you? Do you need to get anything from there?
No, sir. I think the officers took my stuff into their custody, but I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, very good. Well, then just don't go over there. Y'all chill, let the situation die down and then let the legal process work its way through. Your next court date is August the 22nd, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to a court-appointed attorney, or you can be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I don't know the difference, but I'm planning on bonding out. The total is 600, didn't you say?
Well, it's between 10 and 20%, so typically 600 to 1,200. But my question to you is, what do you want to do about a lawyer? Do you want to be considered for a court-appointed attorney, or do you want to hire your own?
Oh, a court one.
Okay, I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case, Mr. Stevenson?
No.
All right, then you are good to go. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Mhm. Hang on just a second.
Great time, you know. The first section, that's gonna be to your left.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Delon Woods.
All right, Mr. Woods. You are charged with 1 count of simple battery. The bond is 3,500, which is a misdemeanor, and 1 count of aggravated assault. That is a felony. The bond is 20,000. Your total bond is 23,500. Do not have any contact with Nigel Blackman, and do not return back to 1711 Brookstone Ridge in Atlanta. Your next court date is going to be on August the 23rd. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court attorney.
Okay, I will grant that request.
Yes.
Do you have any questions about your case?
I'm not sure if I can request this, but I was wondering, could I get a lower bond? If it's possible.
Well, your attorney can file a motion for one, but I'm not going to set one at this time. I'm not going to set a lower one, put it that way. Okay. Any other questions?
Can you repeat my bond for me?
23,500.
Okay.
All right. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
I appreciate it.
We have Mr. Johnson.
Johnson, yeah, Johnson.
I have Derek Johnson. He might have, I don't know if he bonded out. It's 2 misdemeanor.
Okay, yeah. I think he might have bonded out. We still have Mr. Charles Lawson here.
Correct. Okay, so I'm putting Johnson to the side. All right.
Yes.
Give me just a moment. Let me go off camera real quick and find Mr. Lawson's paperwork, because I marked that I had him and I filled out his paperwork. So give me just a moment. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, I found it.
Okay, yeah, she gave information.
All right, Mr. Lawson, you are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of criminal trespass. The bond is $15,000. And the reason why the bond is typically higher is that this is the same charge from the same place over and over and over again. You have a special condition to not go back to 93 Upper Riverdale Road in Riverdale, but you keep going back there. They don't want you there. Okay. The next court date is on August the 22nd. But if you bond out, you're not going to have to go to that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. Do you want a court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own attorney? Or, Mr. Lawson, do you understand what I've asked you?
Yeah, man.
When
they go to court?
I'm sorry?
When you said it?
Your next court date is on August the 22nd.
What's the day now?
What's
the day now?
Today is July the 23rd, so approximately 3 weeks from today, approximately.
You say you trying to get jail or bond out?
Well, if you bond out, then you don't have to go to court on the 22nd. But if you're still in custody, then you'll be in court. They'll take you to court. Okay. But what do you want to do about a lawyer? Do you want to hire one or do you want me to appoint one?
Yeah,
you're going to hire one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll put that on there if for whatever reason that changes.
Today 22nd to 20 what?
22nd. 22nd.
And today the 23rd?
Today's the 31st.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
So I went through the process and bond out already.
Yeah, but that's for a different case. This is a new case.
Yeah, this new case about something like last night. I mean, I called my social security company. And I got a bond up.
Well, you'll have to talk to them about that, Mr. Lawson. All right.
Yeah, so you don't have no paperwork on charge like a bond out?
No, I don't.
Because they sent me in the room with no paper, no carousel carousel TV, no phones, and I don't have no resource to bond it out. I mean, they put me in the room with no crew there, no phone.
You'll have to take that up with the deputies, Mr. Lawson. I can't do anything else for you. All right. Good luck to you.
Okay. Now, so I'm got schizophrenic. I don't know why I'm up in the room with everybody.
Again, you'll have to work that out with them.
Come on, yeah, they send me in the room up there with everybody, and I got schizophrenia. And then people up there tell me they're gonna fight me and everything. I keep telling them I need to go out of the room, but they won't let me go. Bro, you're done.
That's all that I have.
All right. You all right, Mr. Lawson?
So
you're done.
I'm asking why y'all take me in the room with
Mr. Lawson, you'll talk to them down there. Come on, let's go. All right, y'all. That's everybody.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
We'll get in there. Go
I think so.